Hello and welcome back again to the Sligo Show paper review, and my guest again is the fabulous, informative Sligo ambassador Val Robus.
Hi, Brendan.
How are you doing, Val? How's
good,
things with you?
good.
And we haven't been here in a few weeks for anyone that is tuning in, and also we are over on our other camera behind. We are going live on Instagram with this, so if you're watching on Instagram, hello and welcome. Hopefully it all comes across well for you. We haven't been here in a few weeks just for various different commitments and that, so as we always say, it is a hobby. Me and Brian do this voluntarily, so we try our best to keep going each week, but hopefully after this week we'll be back more regular. So each week, at the moment, we are just going through the local papers. So we have the Sligo Champion, the Sligo Weekender. And look, there's obviously been a lot of dark news in Sligo lately. We're not going to rehash over that again. I suppose people, there's been a lot of talked and watched and read. So look at our condolences, our best wishes to anyone that's been involved in any of the darker, sadder stories in town the last few weeks. But we're going to push on, go through our papers and see what's worth having a look at. And I just see a bit of history here from out your direction, Val. A Killarney man recalls his uncle who was amongst the first ever Gardaí, 1922. I didn't know that's when the Guards were invented or created.
I didn't know either.
There you go. Page
great.
2 of the Champion. There's an interesting story there of a man who originally from Killarney. There was only just a small group of people who were in the Gardaí at the very beginning. So there's a good story. Both papers this week are covering Organ Donation Week. And I was saying to you earlier on, you hold an organ donor card?
I do hold an organ donor card, and the reason being is my dad was on dialysis. Now he was too old to get a kidney, but if he was younger, he would have got one. And there's so few chances to get organs from people. It has to be certain conditions that I really think if you can hold a card, then do.
And I'm guilty of going, I might have held one once, but then you go, how do you actually?
You can do an online one.
Yes,
now.
there's an app or something.
There is an app. You
and
don't
in all the
need
papers,
a card.
So this is the thing to know, and I mean, that just tells a story. Here's a lovely story of a man, Patrick Cleary, who at 25 got a headache. And then it transpired that he had a kidney issue, but he got a transplant and he's looking great and healthy there with all his family. So I think both papers have different stories of the organ donation week. So have a good look, and you can see how you can sign up and find out more about the app and whatnot. Yeah. And another story, this is a young lady, Claire Carpenter, again, is you said as Killarney direction as well.
Claire, they're fundraising for her at the moment. God love her, she needs a lot of support.
She was only 34, she had a headache as well.
And ended up having a stroke. So God love her, she's 3 young children. And
a lot of people might know Ross, her husband, his family owned the record room in town. So they have a GoFundMe. And again, if you let me just see if I can quickly get it. Help Claire regain independence after a stroke.
I think there's a hashtag Get Claire Home.
Okay.
So I know in Killarney, there's actually a cake sale on Sunday at 11 in Killarney Community Centre. So if you can support that, please do.
Yeah. So again, get the papers as well. You'll find it online, etc. Yeah. So there's another good cause to help them through their difficult time upcoming. As we always have to, flicking through the papers. Amcor, big factory down in Finnisglen, they've created 75 new jobs. So
great news.
Nice bit of bright news for Sligo. I think it's always good
to
show that Sligo's been thought of with these big factories. Yeah. To go, that's where we want to invest more. So long may it continue. And there's that page 7 of the Champion. They're telling you about the organ donation app. Moving on through again, a lovely story I've seen here is a feature: horses to give hope to Castlereagh's prisoners. Now again, I seen this first. I was like, I didn't know this was something. But so they've introduced stables down there, and I suppose if you're in that situation, and there's some people down there, maybe it's small times, little incidents they had in their life and they went down a wrong path, but I think that's a lovely idea. You can get a qualification that says at the end of it, and I suppose that'll turn some people's lives around, but it's a good full two-page spread about that. So I think I'm all in favour of anyone in prison given a chance at least, especially if they're willing to do it.
Everybody needs a second chance.
Yeah.
And,
So that's another good story there. Now this is one of me and you were talking about the online heritage course you can do to learn more about Sligo. Sure, you couldn't need to do this.
Actually, I am quite tempted because it's a free online course and you can learn more about the history and the heritage of Sligo, because I'd know a lot of the spots, but I wouldn't really know in depth about
the background
them.
Of it,
And then you see some people that go into the cairns and you're not meant to do that. So I think we could all do with learning a bit more about the heritage and what we should do and what we shouldn't do.
Yeah, so that I actually would say I would be interested, depending on how much time is needed, because yourself
exactly,
now trying to get the
but it's a great idea.
IAFS.ie.
And I'm sure there's probably something on Sligo Heritage Facebook page as well.
The Heritage Office, Heritage Council, there's all those different things.
So it sounds interesting.
Yeah. And speaking of knowing what to do, I seen one of the walkways sadly lost a bit of its trail there. Was that in Union Wood?
There was 2 actually. The Caves of Kesh, it's now reopened. It was closed because there's no dogs allowed on some of the walks because it's farming land and the farmers have let people go up. But some people walk up and they let their dogs off leads, so it worries the animals. Okay. So you can't actually walk. It's Loch Lomond. It's a lake up in the mountains, and if you haven't been there, you need to go there. It's a bit of a trek, and I got lost, but then I could get lost walking from here to Don, so there you go. But you can't get to it now from the Slishwood end, so if you're coming in, you can go from the Ballygawley end. All right, so you can still get up there. But
you just have to take it. Well, hopefully that might be resolved and people might just take more care with that.
It seems to be kind of a permanent thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. And I suppose just everyone watching or listening, just to maybe think of that if you are going to these places, respect to locals. Another exciting project planned at the moment in Easky, a huge glamping village.
Yeah, so again, that was the first I heard of it actually in the paper. So
you buy your local papers, you learn all these things.
And it sounds great because glamping is a massive thing. People are really interested. And Easky's such a lovely village. I don't know if you've been down there, but there's...
Passed through it a lot. I don't think I've ever sat into the town much.
No. Pudding Row. Oh my God, the donuts.
No, I haven't.
Donuts.
Yes, I love the view up the top.
Absolutely. And also they've a lovely grocery now. That the cafe isn't open at the moment, but they've a grocery so you can go and buy all your things. And then there's down the beach, the surfers and the castle. You used to be able to get into the castle. I don't know if you can now. Okay. It's just stunning.
There you go. It's a small little rural village, but yet so much to kind of go and see. So that's mentioned in the I think it's a champion again. Scouting. Were you ever joined the Scouts? Apparently, it's Scouting Ireland is start your volunteering adventure with Scouts. So it's something you ever did?
Yeah, I was in the guides and then I found out there was fellas in the Scouts, so I joined the Venture Scouts.
They were going to help you tie the knots, is that
absolutely.
it? Absolutely,
of course.
That was all.
Yeah, that was all. So yeah, fun times, camping and getting muddy and stuff. So
I think with people that maybe there's a lot of people that are into their sports maybe, but I think Scouting just offers a different alternative. I never took part back home. It was
great fun, We did potholing and all kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely a different kind of habit. So anyways, that's they're looking for volunteers this week if anyone's watching and they're interested. There's the Hospice Memorial Walk that took place last week as well. It looked like a hugely attended event, so it's great to see people supporting. And art, mentioned art here to you earlier on. You're obviously flying with your own art at the moment. I've seen some of the paintings. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Where are you selling yours, or what's your
I just put a few on Twitter actually. I'm selling mine to fundraise for different charities, and actually yesterday I sold one for Wildlife West Rescue. Wow. And then I sold one for Flourish that I'm involved with. I'll tell you more about that later. We'll have a chat with them, then I sold some for the local and national animal rescues, so it's really just
so for people to check out your art, is it all a Magnumlady blog?
At the moment it was just on Twitter, and claim to fame, Paula McSweeney, the lovely DJ from Today FM, she bought one of my paintings and the money went to the what are they called now, the pig rescue anyway, my lovely pig.
It was a little rescue. It was a pig.
It was a pig, so it was
she
lovely.
Had a great review.
She gave me a lovely shout out, so that was brilliant.
Good. Well, this gentleman David Coleman Hart, he's an exhibition at the moment in the High Bridge Gallery.
Yes.
And he's another huge exhibition coming up in Dublin. So again, it's a lovely little story piece about him, and his background in osteopathy has influenced this exhibition, which is called Human. So again, another worth going to have a look at that and check it out. Country singer it's Aoife McDonough from Ocean FM. A wonderful, talented singer, brilliant radio presenter, and she's been really good to the country music scene. And she was awarded from the Hot Country Awards. She was given an award for her music show. So well done to Aoife.
Well done. And the show's lovely. It's very upbeat. I think it's on a Thursday on Ocean FM.
I'm not sure the exact day.
Yeah, but she's
again,
very
it's
good.
Easy found if people want to find it. So that was the art. I'm just moving along here now. Again, we don't cover the court cases or anything like that. I see there's a key meeting planned aimed at breathing new life into Ballymote. This is I love when small villages like Killarney seems to have been doing this for a while. Different people meeting or different fresh ideas.
And Knocknashee, where they raised 60,000 and they bought an old nightclub and they're turning it into a hub for the community.
In where?
In Knocknashee, which is near. It's in a connery near Tubbercurry.
Right.
And they've been amazing. I don't know if you've been to a connery farmers market, but they've built all the huts, volunteers, and then just up the road was a former nightclub. The community got together. It was up for auction, and they raised 60,000, and they bought the place. Wow. So at the weekends, it's a community cafe, and then they use the hall for exercising and things like that. But they really want it to be a hub.
Brilliant. I love those stories. So again, Ballymote, again, that's all in the. So I know I'm just going to skip in through here. There's a load of entertainment on. We'll have a special guest in a few minutes as well, telling us about his big gig coming up next week. He's hiding in the background there, but we'll be chatting in a few minutes. So between the two papers, there's tons of stuff on. There's youth theatre. I've never seen these guys. It always looks like it's great energy and fun.
You have to go. I was taking photos for them years ago and I was absolutely blown away. They are beyond talented. You just need to go. And it's reasonably priced and they usually sell out. So if you're
so it's
looking
2 days
to go...
at the factory form of space and it's on this... Saturday so Saturday and Sunday this weekend.
Yes.
And Jerry McLaughlin, well-known journalist here with The Weekender, has launched a book of his poems. I think it was Irish Poetry Ireland Day yesterday or something.
Poetry Ireland Day yesterday.
So there you go. So a very
good timing.
Current. Yeah. And I see 2 big theatres. One is the Druid, which again these are the really kind of, how would you call them, the top end.
The top end.
I'd love to go and see that show actually, just to see a different kind of theatre group and what way they do things. And Decadent Theatre Company, they're all coming. I think it's both in May. Yes, one is 6th of June, one is May. Again, look, it's all in the papers, so they're worth 2 shows worth checking out. The Model has commissioned artists to paint portraits of locals, so they're looking to paint some portraits of 10 young Sligo citizens.
That's brilliant. Didn't know about that either.
No, it's really to tell their story.
Yeah, because like Portrait Artist of the Year on Sky is brilliant.
Yes,
so
true.
Maybe we could do a Sligo Artist of the Year.
Well, who knows? We could. It all started here, maybe. But so that's in the that's in the Champions. It's in the Weekender as well, no doubt. So that's worth a look as well. I think that was all in the Champion. Just to skip over to the Weekender. Excuse my paper rustling. As I always say, one of my favourite pieces in the Weekender is this page where they just give you like 20 different things that's on, and I'm going to skim through them very quickly. There's whiskey tasting, if that's your thing. You're a whiskey drinker, Val?
Oh, I've been known. I have been known. And actually, the whiskey tasting looks great. It's at Thomas Connolly. I thought they'd closed the club, but maybe they've reopened it.
Well, there's a whiskey tasting. It's on... Oh, sorry. Now, so this is why when you film it on a Friday, you're just a day late. But anyways, they will have more events coming up. So it was on last night, actually. But no, there's the tickets available for that yesterday. So I think it's... still open. So anyways, it's on regularly enough in Thomas Connolly, so go and check it out. The Chamber Music Festival begins this Saturday. Again, this is something you see posters for, and I'll be honest, I don't know, have I ever been to a gig? Have you ever seen it in action?
Yes, I've been to it. I've been to some at the Model, because they usually have an informal afternoon, informal music afternoon once a month in the Model, and I've been to it there and it's great.
Okay, so that's another one worth checking out. And then there's loads of gigs on, as always. I see there's a Fleetwood Mac tribute on. I think they're in Anderson's the weekend. There's loads of live music all over the town. Ox Mountain are doing a Honda 50 run. That's on this Sunday. God, there's so much on around the town. The High Kings have a concert coming up. Patrick Healty, brilliant stand-up comedian. I didn't even know he was on until I seen this yesterday.
Yeah,
so he's on tomorrow night in the Hawksville if anyone's watching. Yeah. Roisin O, that is she'd be Mary Black's daughter. I suppose people might know Mary Black's name, I'm sure.
I didn't even know she was Mary Black's daughter.
There you go. And Danny from the Coronas, that's Mary Black's son.
No way.
So there you go.
Gosh, there you go.
So she's in Anderson's actually next weekend, Saturday, May the 7th. And then the Youth Theatre is mentioned again there, so they're definitely worth mentioning. I've seen a lovely story. A gloves company down in Cork are actually making kind of little gloves in memory of Red Oak Murphy, the young guy who lost his life there recently, the young GA player. So that's also featured there in the Weekender. I'm going to just get through. Sligo Races is back. I mean, it's not just a sporting day out. That's a huge social event in the calendar. So that's on Sunday. So the town is going to be wedged. And I love this. Is a guy, Oisin Moran and Michael Moran, have created a special documentary about Sligo Rovers when they won the league in 2012. Now they've commissioned another little documentary a long time ago. I've seen it. It looked brilliant. So
yeah, I've seen bits of that on social media, so it looks really good.
And again, even if soccer isn't your thing, I think there's a lovely human story behind it. So it looks like it's really well done, and they're local guys doing it, and that's well worth checking out as well. Let me see what else then, because as I said, there's we're going to have a nice short paper review this week, because there's an awful lot of stuff in the papers that we're not covering really. The ATU has established links with New Jersey entities, so there you go. Sligo's branching over across the water, so more and more exciting news. I think it's just great seeing the university start to come into life now.
It's brilliant, and it's really like it's gone boomph.
Yeah,
like they had the engineering day yesterday,
that's
and I think the road, like, it was wedged. Everyone coming in to see it.
No, it's
brilliant.
As I always say, it's a great asset. Lovely exhibition again, which looks interesting. A Yates and Markovich exhibition at the Nyland Gallery. It's currently on, so go and check that out. And you were telling me a little fact about Countess Markovich's uniform.
Yeah, if you're interested in Countess Markovich, her uniform is actually on display in the Sligo Folk Park in Riverstown.
Right.
So you can go and see it in the flesh, yeah. So it's just... And the Folk Park's great as well. It's well worth a visit.
I know. I only went there during lockdown. We were filming something, so it was closed as such, but the little town they've created inside is amazing.
It's so cute. And there's now an audio tour, so you can wear the headset, go around, and it will tell you all about the exhibits.
What to do. So you can call in any time, so you're not waiting on set times.
No, it's not open at the weekends though, so just bear that in mind. It's just weekdays.
Okay.
And there's a lovely cafe there too. You know me and cake. I'll travel for cake.
Yeah, you do have a lot of cake on your social media.
Yeah, there's cake.
And I hope I get his name right here. Nils Kavanagh. Kieran will tell us how to pronounce it, but I think it's Nils Kavanagh. He won the Young Irish Jazz Musician Award. I seen this a couple of weeks ago, so amazing to see that happening for a young Sligo musician. But I mean, there's so many talented young musicians, whether it's through the local youth orchestras and Kieran's nights, the teen nights and that. So this is starting to bear fruit now. So well done to him. I'm sure he's delighted with his award. Another little, I love these little local stories. Aidan Mannion, who everyone might know from the Record Room, they call him the Memorabilia Man. So there's a huge feature on him on the Sligo Weekender, page 41. And he's actually looking for an appeal to get any old photos, programmes, other memorabilia relating to Sligo Rovers. But I know that he has a huge amount of memorabilia, music and sport. So again, I'm looking forward to reading that story in full.
And he also knows so much about Sligo.
Like he's involved in the
field
club.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't even know they existed until I was working in a place and they were using it.
Yeah, so he knows everything. So yeah,
very good. So and just while I'm flicking through, Val, you must guess all these in the weekend that they do.
Gosh,
what and where is this?
You're going to give me a quiz.
No, I won't make you do it now. But again, you must have great fun. You would definitely get them all.
Actually, that's an e-ski.
See, I knew you'd know it straight away. And I love the local quiz they do every week as well. So that's as I said, that's kind of the papers. We don't go into the sport because there's plenty of other podcasts covering the sport and it's well covered in the papers. But I will mention there's 3 huge sporting events this weekend. Sligo Rovers have a home match against Shamrock Rovers, which is a huge kind of a derby, even though they're not beside each other. Sligo GA are playing Saturday at 5 o'clock versus Roscommon, and then Sunday is the races. So hopefully the Sligo will be buzzing this weekend and it'll be packed.
And hopefully the sun will continue to shine.
Yes, yeah, well it's definitely shining today now, so we'll take it as it comes one day at a time. And before I let you go, will you tell us a little bit more about the Flourish Cafe project?
Yes.
And the big raffle.
Firstly, we have a coffee morning and a fundraising day on Tuesday, the 3rd of May, in the Blind Tiger from 10 till 12.
That's next Tuesday.
Yes. Yep. The Blind Tiger are kindly sponsoring all the teas and coffees, so you can just come and if you've a few bob, throw it in the bucket, and if not, we'd love to see you anyway. But we've a massive raffle. This kind of snowballed. I did a quick video going, I'd like to do a raffle for Flourish, which I'll tell you more about. Yeah. And people just threw prizes at me. So I'm very, very grateful to everyone. I'm not going to start naming people because there's so many. But if you follow me on social media, you'll see all the prizes. We've well over €1,000 worth now in prizes. But Flourish, it's not open at the moment. It's open for volunteers on most Saturdays where they're trying to get the garden centre up and running. It's the old garden centre in Ballytivenin. It used to belong to the HSE and they want to turn it into a centre where people can just come along. Okay. So it's basically having a laugh for involved mental health charity, and it's so people have a place to go, and they want to do a community cafe and also the garden centre. Okay. So they're hoping in the end that the stuff that they grow in the garden centre they'll be able to use for the cafe and that it will become a social enterprise. But we've a long way to go and we're fundraising. So if you've a few bob, we'd be very grateful.
Okay, and Tuesday in the Blind Tiger.
Tuesday in the Blind Tiger. And cake, come along.
If you like coffee and cake.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's going to be cake.
Oh, there's always cake in the Blind Tiger.
Hopefully. Yes. But it's really worth the first one we did, actually, I did the coffee morning because my battles with mental health, and over 200 people turned up.
Oh, great.
So,
so
hopefully come along. We'd love to
and check out Having a Laugh for more details about Flourish and what's coming up.
Having a Laugh on social media, we'll have everything. Yeah.
Very good. Well, that's all for our paper review section. Thanks again to Val from Magnumladyblog.com. If you want your business, your event promoted, get on to Val and give her a donation, give her a sponsorship as well deserved. So Val, thanks again for your time.
Thanks, and
enjoy the bank holiday weekend.
Thank you, and